Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, April 15th, at 2:34 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 714 headlines from 108 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Sydney man finds snake in lettuce pot at supermarket. Koreans mark founder's birthday amid economic difficulties. Yemeni model abducted from the street by Houthi rebels after doing photo shoot without hijab. Louisiana ship capsize, search for survivors from lift vessel. Biologists defy Cyprus ethnic divide to protect environment. Video shows shooting in Ohio hospital. Colorful coffins lighten mood at New Zealand funerals. Experts warn that white supremacists have realigned in ways that are disturbing. Why are so many babies dying of COVID-19 in Brazil? Many GOP officials still privately hope prosecutors, some other outside force will make Trump go away. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. COVID-19 news, live updates, The New York Times. Study shows vaccines carry much lower risk of blood clots than COVID-19, CBS News. How Mario Draghi is making Italy a power player in Europe, The New York Times. JP Morgan, Goldman, other banks jumpstart Q1 earnings season, Morning Brief, Yahoo Finance. J&J vaccine pause creates perfect storm for misinformation, NPR. Pennsylvania GOP launches super mega Trump primary, Politico. Billionaire Mike Novogratz says cryptocurrencies face a washout after the Coinbase listing frenzy, Markets Insider. Biden, setting Afghanistan withdrawal, says it is time to end the forever war, The New York Times. Judge denies Derek Chauvin defense team's acquittal request in George Floyd's death, Fox News. State health leaders urge patients as COVID-19 vaccine eligibility expands on Thursday, Como News. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Are dermal fillers really that safe to inject in your face? 50 relatable tweets about the discomfort of wearing a bra. Andrew Ridgie, why we need to safely reopen restaurants and nightlife. Tucker Carlson's is giving red pills to millions. White nationalists are stoked. You don't need to get your body ready for summer. Trevor Noah pulls no punches in assessment of bad Apple police excuse. Florida driver busts through gates, leaps over drawbridge as it opens. Jim Jordan's dishonest U-Choose attack on Biden spectacularly backfires. Stephen Colbert reveals the one Venmo payment rep Matt Gaetz might be making next. The surge is alarming. India reports more than 200,000 new coronavirus cases in a single day. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. City to continue free summer camps for kids. NFL star accused of assault. Girl critically injured in crash home, recovering. Investigation, 7-year-old child shot in legs at park. Board votes to rename school after John Lewis. Minority students allegedly slave traded online. Video shows violent encounter that ended in death. Man rescues 2-year-old found walking alone at night. Students help and search for body. First responder a hero after saving man from burning wreckage. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. How Mario Draghi is making Italy a power player in Europe. Protesters gather for fourth night over Daunte Wright shooting. Mark Zuckerberg is urged to scrap plans for an Instagram for children. The IR1 question. Got a confidential news tip? Johnson & Johnson pause shakes vaccination campaigns worldwide. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine pause explained. From Serial, the Improvement Association. Western warnings tarnish COVID vaccines the world badly needs. Tennessee student killed by police did not fire bullet that hit officer, officials say. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Dodgers' Justin Turner hits home run, destroys fans' nachos. Luka Doncic lifts Mavericks with improbable game-winning shot versus Grizzlies. David Bussey, Biden the Green Radical, infrastructure spending binge tells you this about who's in charge. Jokic's triple-double leads Nuggets overheat 123-106. Westbrook posts 24th triple-double of season and Wizards win. Curry's 42, Green's triple-double lead Warriors past Thunder. Aguilar's double lifts Marlins past Braves, Acuna 2 homers. Low homers, rookie Ariho beats Rays 5-1 for first MLB win. Bernie Sanders says he disagrees with squad member who called for no more policing. Randall nets 32 as Knicks limit Zion, beat Pelicans 116-106. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, April 15th. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Harbor Town requires you really to think your way around the golf course, says Dottie Pepper on the RBC Heritage. Short tracks is where it's at. Superstar Racing Experience broadcast crew discuss what fans should expect from inaugural season on CBS. Daunte Wright shooting, FMR, Brooklyn Center officer Kim Potter arrested, will be charged with second-degree manslaughter. Plus up stimulus checks going out to those who were underpaid. Watch the Derek Chauvin trial live. Superstar Racing Experience names broadcast team for debut season on CBS, Alan Bestwick, Brad Daugherty, Lindsay Arniak and Matt Yoakum. 211k pounds of ground turkey sold as Wegmans or Nature Promise brands could be contaminated with salmonella. Margaret Josephs on the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Caviar Dreams, tuna fish budget. Everybody knows me from the show, but that's only 25% of my life. Watch, President Biden picks up toy dropped by daughter of fallen Capitol Police Officer William Evans during service. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Fred and Rose West's son, 40, died of painkiller overdose, inquest hears. Census 2021 worker says system fault has seen them repeatedly visit houses by mistake. Charles and Camilla view Prince Philip tributes at Marlborough House. Biden will kick 10 Russian officials out, impose sanctions in retaliation for SolarWinds hack. Ukraine standoff, Putin will bear very painful consequences if troops cross border. COVID crisis Canada, Justin Trudeau claims Britain is facing a very serious third wave. Vaccines not lockdown to blame for rapid drop in cases, top scientist says. Claire Balding reveals Prince Philip was absolutely charming when she interviewed him in 2010. BBC weather presenter leaves job after attending anti-vaxxer march and drink driving conviction. Coronavirus, study finds CVST blood clot risk is 10 times higher after COVID than after vaccination. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. U.S. could have 300 million extra vaccine doses by end of July, raising concerns over hoarding. Blinken in Afghanistan to sell Biden troop withdrawal. World Health Organization, Europe's 53-country region has surpassed 1 million deaths linked to COVID-19. London police charge man seen with axe near Buckingham Palace. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken makes unannounced visit to Afghanistan to sell Biden's troop withdrawal decision. Biden's top diplomat makes unannounced stop in Afghanistan after president calls for troop withdrawal. COVID-19 live updates. India reports record 200,000 new COVID-19 cases as outbreak spreads. Brazil battles coronavirus with a Chinese vaccine. Even the Chinese concede could be better. Kangaroos are nachos campaign lands awkwardly in Australia's outback. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Coronavirus live news. Northern Ireland lockdown easing to be unveiled. Olympics could still be cancelled. Biden to unveil Russia sanctions over SolarWinds hack and election meddling. COVID is ravaging American jails and prisons, and inmates are rightly rising up bacchanalia. This much is clear, Derek Chauvin's trial won't change policing in America. Simon Balto. I made my peace, fans divided over Taylor Swift's re-recording project. It's time for an actually gay season of The Bachelor already. How Texas's zombie oil wells are creating an environmental disaster zone. Andrew Yang leads the New York mayoral race despite missteps, but can he win? Steelers review, Doc tackles queer rugby's small moments and big struggles. Amazon's warehouse boom linked to health hazards in America's most polluted region. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Hundreds protest at Brooklyn Center Police Department for fourth night after shooting. Soldier charged after video of confrontation with black man. Epic drought means water crisis on Oregon-California border. Inspector General blasts Capitol Police preparedness for riot. Body found in Mississippi River identified as missing LSU student. Police chief reprimands officer over Breonna Taylor email. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Texas students disciplined over slave trade game. Mystery tree beast turns out to be croissant. U.S. poised to impose sanctions on Russia for cyber attacks. Why Australia is in hysterics over a Navy twerking dance. Daunte Wright shooting, how can you mistake a gun for a taser? Daunte Wright shooting, U.S. ex-officer Kim Potter charged over killing. St. Vincent volcano, UN warns humanitarian crisis will last months. Instagram fixes mistake promoting harmful diet content. Why Russia may not be planning the invasion that Ukraine fears. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Loved ones wait for missing from capsized boat off Louisiana. The student debt crisis is crushing Black Americans. Here's how loan forgiveness could help. Should America's death penalty system be fixed? More Republican lawmakers think so. AP Top Stories April 15th. What would happen if cops didn't make certain traffic stops? This North Carolina city offers a case study. California, Washington open up vaccine eligibility, empty middle seats on flights reduce exposure, CDC says, live COVID-19 updates. Derek Chauvin trial hive, defense to call at least one more witness after medical expert says George Floyd's cause of death undetermined. Protests in Minnesota as former officer is charged. Daunte Wright shooting, 24 arrests as demonstrators demand justice, accountability on fourth night of Brooklyn Center protests. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. COVID-19 gave us skin hunger and touch deprivation, we're fighting back with hugs. Protesters gather by Los Angeles Police Department downtown headquarters in wake of Daunte Wright shooting. Proposed LA law banning landlords from harassing renters clears a key hurdle. COVID-19 vaccine appointments now open to all 16 plus in California. San Francisco reopens further with live shows, conferences and masks on messaging. Julia Bogany, venerated Tong the Elder who fought for her tribe's recognition, dies. Several Huntington Park finance employees put on leave, one arrested in data breach probe. Former priest charged with sexually abusing children in Palmdale and Redondo Beach. Column, there's a fight over the direction of Black Lives Matter, the timing couldn't be worse. Paul Flores killed Kristen Smart in dorm room during attempted rape, The says. Los Angeles Police Department investigated local cases. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Greenland, Eco-Socialist Party wins election by opposing Australian mining project. World's 8 richest people now have a combined net worth of $1 trillion. India breaches 200,000 daily COVID-19 cases as hospital beds, oxygen fall short. Innermost, Earth has another layer in its core, scientists discover. Just 3% of world's ecosystems remain intact, study suggests wildlife. It's a tragedy, French winemakers face devastation after worst weather in 30 years. U.S. set to slap new sanctions on Russia as soon as Thursday. Russia deploys 559th Fighter Bomber Aviation Regiment, equipped with Su-34 jets near Ukraine. Chinese man with Down syndrome kidnapped and murdered to provide a substitute body. Afghanistan, we have won the war, America has lost, say Taliban. Please drink treated Fukushima water. China on Wednesday asked Japanese Deputy Prime Minister Taro Aso to drink treated radioactive water accumulated at the crippled Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, after he said it is safe to drink it. 6 young climate activists are suing the Brazilian government for revising its commitments under the Paris Agreement in a way that allows the country to emit more greenhouse gases. The lawsuit seeks to annul the revised emissions commitments. New Zealand government plans to slash nicotine in cigarettes by 95%. Central Intelligence Agency says Russia's military buildup now enough to launch incursions into Ukraine. U.S. climate research outpost abandoned over fears it will fall into sea. We felt we had maybe another 10 years, but then we started losing a foot of a bluff a week and realized we didn't have years. The next headlines are from Forbes. Maker of mushroom-sourced bacon raises $40 million to reach grocers at scale. 1 billion doses on day 1, vaccine company claims world-changing innovation. India records 200,000 new COVID-19 cases for first time as second wave continues to surge. NASCAR to open its bubble allowing more people inside and teams are all on board. America's longest foreign wars, infographic. New Zealand to pilot early COVID-19 detection app on border workers. Did PayPal just make cryptocurrency the cash of the future? Robotic startup Canvas raises $24 million to revitalize construction. South Korean conglomerate SK Group ups investment in fast-growing Vietnamese market. SK Innovation is in the driver's seat after battery settlement with LG Chem. The next headlines are from Nature.com. India's COVID vaccine woes, by the numbers. An unprecedented genomic analysis helped to curb an Ebola outbreak. Genomic insights into population history and biological adaptation in Oceania. Organelle degradation in the lens by plot phospholipases. The race for antiviral drugs to beat COVID, and the next pandemic. COVID research updates. COVID vaccination scheme keeps variants under control. Structural basis of long-range to short-range synaptic transition in NHEJ. Author correction, assessing progress towards sustainable development over space and time. HP1 drives de novo 3D genome reorganization in early Drosophila I embryos. The AMBRA1E3 ligase adapter regulates the stability of cyclin D. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,698,873,440 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Creator Isirin, showrunner Irma Korea on the Spanish adaptation of banned Netflix Turkish original if only exclusive. Netflix Spain unveils plans for early 2021, including 7 new film and TV originals. Venice to honor Roberto Benigni with Golden Lion for career achievement. InfoWars staff were arrested in connection with U.S. Capitol riot. BBC Studios Productions expands factual leadership team with Nicola Pin, Ian Moffat. DOS Boot producer Moritz Polter to join IDV Studios, create high-end scripted label. Disney Plus unveils trio of UK scripted shows from Happy Valley, Killing Eve Creatives. Mark Anthony's Magnus, this set like the Latinish social media comedy of Manners' second collaboration. VIU continues race for Korean drama content and expansion in anime. Monday Review, Sebastian Stan and Denise Goff in an indie drama of love and other drugs. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. As auto industry goes electric, can it avoid a battery bottleneck? Muslim civil rights leader accused of harassment, misconduct. The most popular J&J vaccine story on Facebook, a conspiracy theorist posted it. Biden infrastructure push highlights economic gender gaps. Biden says his climate plan means jobs. Some union members are skeptical. Ahead of hearing, Capitol Police says it needs help to address insurrection failures. Biden appoints Erica Moritsugu to Asian American liaison role. Coinbase, a Bitcoin startup, goes public. Is crypto really the future of finance? Officer cleared in the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt during Capitol riot. U.S. health officials continue pause of Johnson & Johnson vaccine. The following headlines are from The Week. 10 Things You Need to Know Today, April 15, 2021. House panel advances bill to study slavery reparations, after 32 years of stalled attempts. Israel is testing Biden. 5 colossally funny cartoons about Biden's infrastructure plan. America needs more starter homes. NATO unanimously agrees to Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal. Late-night hosts cheer the end of the Afghanistan war, gawk met Gates' champagne-fueled sex parties. Senate confirms Wall Street critic Gary Gensler to head Securities and Exchange Commission. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. ERCOT asks Texans to conserve power as electric grid again struggle to keep up with demand. Lone Star State, insurrection infection. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. A brief history of latex. The next headlines are from Universe Today. If you want to move an asteroid, you need the right kind of nuclear explosion. Finding oxygen on an alien world doesn't always mean there's life there. 100-meter asteroid created a strange impact event in Antarctica 430,000 years ago. Galileo Sunspot sketches versus modern deep learning AI. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, April 15th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Martian hill named to honor curiosity scientist. Sea level rise creating ghost forests in U.S. East. Milky Way season has started. Chemical fingerprint reveals a migrating exoplanet. Carbon dioxide levels now higher than at any time in past 3.6 million years. Sunlight through trees in Singapore. The next news is from Politico. They weren't supposed to be heroes, Italy's lost doctors. Project Love, Boris Johnson's plan to save the United Kingdom. Biden's first 100 days. COVID-19 changed education in America, permanently. Pennsylvania GOP launches super mega Trump primary. The GOP's most important votes, to Democrats. Inside Nancy Pelosi's war with AOC and the squad. Forthcoming Russia sanctions won't include Nord Stream 2. Democrats to introduce legislation to expand Supreme Court. Canadian Parliament backs Halifax Security Forum's decision to honor Taiwan's president. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. NRL 2021 Round 6 live updates. Brisbane Broncos v Penrith Panthers at Suncorp Stadium. AFL 2021 live updates. Richmond dominate first half over Saints in Matty's match. Telstra held talks with private equity firm about international merger. 5 questions. Can the Magpies pull off another Optus Stadium miracle? More than $8 worth of drugs seized from Docklands safe house. Medical insurers seek clarity for doctors on vaccine risk. Central Coast woman's death after COVID-19 vaccine being investigated. Geelong recruiting Doyen Wells considering future. Roosters reportedly in hunt for All Blacks star TJ Barrenra. Manila cruise unavoidable as WA exporters forced to navigate COVID waters alone. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Auto Trader, why the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe is one of the best cars of the year. NerdWallet, 5 reasons you should renew your passport now. Next Avenue, how to avoid the financial toll of family caregiving. Denmark becomes first country to permanently stop use of AstraZeneca vaccine. Strategist, don't be surprised to see double-digit retail sales growth. Europe markets, European stocks mint fresh record with bond yield under control. The Moneyist, I'm on track to retire at 58, my fiancé is in debt and drives my old car, and I support her family. How do I ensure my son inherits my wealth after I die? The Moneyist, my wife offered to loan me money when I was having financial trouble, now I make 6 figures, and she refuses to pay any bills. Dispatches from a pandemic, Johnson & Johnson and AstraZeneca sagas illustrate strength of COVID-19 strategy, it was a wise decision to spread the risk. A hot housing market means buyers are making offers with risky waivers, what to know before trying this strategy. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Einstein's fridge by Paul Sen, the heart of the matter, Financial Times. ASML's tech DNA was formed by an migrant, bits and chips. Mossade Technologies returns to its roots, Conversant is once again Mossade, design and reuse. Patent working requirements and related compulsory licensing provisions in Australia and New Zealand, Lixology. 3-day Edison Awards offers innovation presentations, networking, Florida Weekly. Innovative scientists, engineers honored for top tech achievements, DC Military. USPTO launches FAST, free appeals on virus patent apps, Law 360. Science for the People, Panay News. United States Patent and Trademark Office expands Patents for Humanity program to COVID-19 inventions, J.D. Supra. Amazon wants to take people on virtual scratch and sniff shopping trips, patent reveals, telegraph.co.uk. The next headlines are from Quartz. The world's biggest music companies are scrambling to sign African artists. How much does the US owe the rest of the world for climate change? CEO letter, Biden Suga Summit, buried planet. Too many dead bodies are weighing heavy on India's COVID-19 crematoriums. Retaining employees has taken priority over fresh hiring for Indian companies. The COVID-19 vaccine side effects that specifically affect women. Why you still cannot get a PS5. Bernie Madoff, dead at 82, still firmly holds a Ponzi scheme record. Zoom backgrounds. Grab's record-breaking SPAC merger left more than $2 billion on the table. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Lying NYPD narcotics detective just cost prosecutors nearly 100 convictions. Content moderation case study, Lyft blocks users from using their real names to sign up, 2019. I guess they're not all on the same side. Cops brutalize soldier for, checks notes, leading them to a well-lit area. Donald Trump caused the techlash. Deconstructing Justice Thomas pro-censorship statement. Daily Deal, Babel language learning. Sense, Cruz, Hawley and Lee show how to take a good bill idea and make it blatantly unconstitutional. Cable giant Charter fined $19 million for lying about competitors going out of business. Flip-flop, Nike now on the receiving end of trademark threat over USPS-inspired sneakers. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Luka Doncic. 76ers. Jamie Foxx. Carlos Rodon. Corey Gautier. Seeker Power. Martin Luther. Jadeveon Clowney. Dortmund vs Man City. Spotify car thing. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Forgotten genocides, RT America looks at crimes politics is swept under the rug. Beijing tells Japanese politicians to drink Fukushima's wastewater to prove it's safe before they dump it into the ocean. Putin won't meet Biden in near future, Kremlin says, rejecting U.S. call for urgent crisis talks as White House mulls new sanctions. Double mutant COVID-19 variant alert in India, experts warn Covishield vaccine no better than water against some strains. German health officials warn urgent action needed as COVID situation is coming to a head. Unbelievable that he's apologizing, Poirier quells McGregor row after accusing UFC rival of breaking $500K charity promise. Magic mushroom treatment on par with pharma drugs for combating depression, study finds. Russia plans to make up to $100 billion from hydrogen exports, media. Kaiser report looks at NFTs, a multi-billion-dollar industry which is obviously a fraud. France calls on nationals to leave Pakistan, citing serious threats to their security amid deadly anti-French protests. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Saxo, absolute equity valuations enter new territory. EU slams door on Montenegro plea for €1 billion China loan bailout. Environmental activist says cheese is racist, dairy shouldn't be served in British schools. UK far ahead of Europe in curbing COVID-19. Murray, domestic COVID-19 identity documents must be resisted. Nearly 25% of UK COVID deaths were not directly caused by virus. Can we win in the grey zone? Can the Great Awakening succeed? How Bill Gates helped drug companies maintain their monopoly on vaccines during COVID. Australian military reminded its role is lethal violence and not woke activism. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. How Harvard degrees pave the way to world's biggest SPAC deal. France tells citizens to leave Pakistan due to serious threats. What do protests in Georgia and Armenia tell us about the democracy? Global chip shortage to last into 2022, semiconductor giant TSMC. As Japan's Suga meets Biden, China is the elephant in the room. Japan, Olympics could still be cancelled over COVID fears. U.S. cancels warships deployment to Black Sea, Turkish officials. Pakistan's water crisis. UAE is mediating between India and Pakistan, says senior diplomat. Turkish delegation to visit Egypt for normalization talks. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Blackburn to corporate CEOs' newfound liberal politics, they should stick to their knitting. Florida House passes bill to keep trans athletes out of girls' sports. Protesters build embattlements, carry improved shields during siege of Minnesota Police HQ. MSNBC's read, Trump incited violent white extremism much the way Bin Laden did. J. Johnson, fears of diversity, white displacement is a principal threat to our very democracy. Republicans secure special election victory in Biden won district in New Hampshire. Neoconservatives, foreign policy establishment push to keep U.S. military involvement in Afghan war going. Video, Baylor refuses Jeep after dealers out of the hood comment. Cotton, Biden admin says same things about American racism that China, USSR used to say. BLM protesters attack media near Brooklyn Center police building. The next headlines are from UPI News. Wait for prescription leads NC man to $200,000 lottery jackpot. Watch, venomous snake found in lettuce package from Australian store. Watch, Texas emergency responders free dog trapped in truck's undercarriage. Restaurant offers year of free burgers to customers who get tattoos. Watch, Florida women use mop to eject baby alligator from inside home. Bush Beer offers $20,000 for a canine chief tasting officer to sample dog brew. Watch, Guinness record holder gets first haircut in 12 years, donates locks to museum. Watch, animal services officer rescues 7 puppies from hole. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Deaf sheepdog returns to herding her flock after learning sign language. Colorado proposes giving free therapy to young people struggling in pandemic. Japanese doctors perform world's first living donor lung transplant on COVID-19 patient. Falconry saves man from life of crime, now he helps birds and at-risk youth take flight. Art historians discover place where Van Gogh painted his last masterpiece. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, April 15th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. The final memory was Phil's sense of humor. Kiwi business goes against the grain of coffin design. The FBI is remotely hacking hundreds of computers to protect them from hafnium. Life-sized teddy bear walking from LA to San Francisco. Could plastic-eating mushrooms solve mankind's plastic problem? Fake ad for $400 a month. Markham, Ontario. Treehouse gets agents calling for showings. Where's my house? Homebuyer shocked to discover half of property missing. Snakes and lettuce. Shoppers in Australia find venomous snake in Aldi fresh produce bag. Twerking for the top brass. The inappropriate dance routine the Australian Navy tried to hide. A $1.2 million bank error buys a house, and an arrest, officials say. Men dressed as Star Wars characters clean up Siberian city to mark first human space flight. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Google Docs acting weird, turn off your ad blocker. What giant radio pulses could teach us about radio signals from beyond the Milky Way. Even toy car maker Matchbox is jumping on the EV trend. 4 questions you'll need to answer to win VC funding. We finally know how the FBI unlocked the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone. TCL teased a phone that both folds and rolls, and I totally love it. Amazon's new $120 Echo Buds are 20% smaller and cancel twice the noise. Review: the Nemesis DLC for Stellaris is a glorious add-on for horrible people. How my stolen bike inspired an IAT innovation. This $110 Android tablet is perfect for watching Netflix, surfing the web, and more. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Little Swirling Mysteries, uncovering dynamics of ultra-small, ultra-fast groups of atoms. New evidence suggests sexual division of labor as farming arose in Europe. To improve climate models, an international team turns to archaeological data. Lower COVID-19 rates seen in U.S. states with higher adherence to mask wearing. 3D printed material to replace ivory. Dietary cocoa improves health of obese mice, likely has implications for humans. Using sound wave to make patterns that never repeat. Tiny wireless implant detects oxygen deep within the body. Fast spinning black holes narrow the search for dark matter particles. Suppression of COVID-19 waves reflects time-dependent social activity, not herd immunity. The next headlines are from Information Week. Why IT leaders should make cloud training a top priority. Mass Mutual CISO talks cybersecurity priorities. The 5 pillars of resilience engineering. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, April 15th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Why Utah Rep. Burgess Owens opposes reparations as the House takes a first step towards slavery compensation. Number of new COVID-19 cases in Utah climbs back above 500. Did a Utah contestant win $200,000 on CBS Tough as Nails? Video shows student cutting down pride flag at Utah High School as others cheer. After negotiating pandemic-filled season, by women's volleyball team not sweating NCAA opponent. Utah aiming for a third round of 16 appearance in 4 seasons when it opens NCAA women's volleyball tournament. Former police chief and officer who showed explicit photos of Lauren McCluskey seek $10 from University of Utah. Bagley cartoon, uninformation. Mormon land, lawyer to judge to apostle, a look at Dallin Oak's life and what he is really like. The Utah Jazz have a 25-3 record at home this season, despite having relatively few fans in the seats. How? The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. France is giving citizens $3,000 to get rid of their car and get an electric bike. 39% of Americans say Netflix has best original content of all streaming services, survey finds. A 23-year-old coder kept QAnon online when no one else would. Ford Blue Crew self-driving tech did a 110,000-mile road trip. Farming startup unveils self-driving robot that uses AI to zap weeds. Dogecoin price passes 10 cents to regional time high. Korean workers need to make space for robots, minister says. Respiratory study launches to discover how Apple Watch can predict COVID-19. Google's FeedBurner moves to a new infrastructure but loses its email subscription service. How the FBI managed to get into the San Bernardino shooter's iPhone. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Thursday starts chilly with temps in the 30s, warms to 60. I-270 closes in both directions Friday night for bridge demolition. St. Louis County and Maplewood reduce penalties for marijuana charges. Suspect gets away after B-State police chase was terminated. Westbound 70 near Goodfellow closed due to wrong-way driver hitting tractor trailer. Collinsville High School football coach not seen at practice this week after striking player during game. Parent-led group calls for SLPS improvement. Warson Woods residents not happy with idea of sharing police with Glendale. Former students of reform schools plead lawmakers to regulate Missouri boarding schools. Avalanche used 3 goals in second period to beat Blues 4-3. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Indoor concert venues can resume shows Thursday. Veterans share mixed reactions about Biden's Afghanistan troop withdrawal. Stadium stories, former Padre recalls Barry Bonds homer that hit the Qualcomm scoreboard. Democrats to unveil bill to expand U.S. Supreme Court by 4 justices. SDSU defense professor's use of racist stereotypes in lesson amid calls for firing. A log cabin in the San Francisco Bay Area for $575K, there's a catch. CDC committee reviewing J&J's vaccine wants more data before ending pause. Hundreds of thousands more San Diegans now eligible for vaccine. Fire-damaged USS Bonhomme Richard decommissioned in San Diego ceremony. Caught on camera, smuggler drops child over border barrier in California. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. U.S. spy chiefs warn of unparalleled China threat and return to Congress. U.S. spy chiefs warn of unparalleled China threat and return to Congress. Kurds reject reports of Iranian attack on Mosul base. U.S. spy chiefs warn of unparalleled China threat and return to Congress. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. U.S. Army tests counter-drone interceptors at Yuma Proving Ground. U.S. Marines MQ-9A completed 10,000 flight hours in support of Central Command operations. Poland inks deal with U.S. for 5 C-130H Hercules aircraft. Secretary of Russian Security Council fears Ukrainian invasion. Bella 1D has been retired from Bundeswehr after 53 years of service. Iveco opens new factory in Romania for high-mobility trucks. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Populism with buttons, how a Chinese military overcoat came to symbolize an era. When the Philadelphia Orchestra helped China fall in love with classical music. Biden sends unofficial delegation to Taiwan as John Kerry talks climate in Shanghai. Skinny Chinese model ripped for water-only diet that lasts 12 days. The assassination attempt of Zhou Enlai. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, April 15, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Wife sues police over fatal 2018 shooting in Redwood City. Californians 16 plus eligible for COVID-19 vaccine on Thursday. Booing discouraged as California moves to reopen indoor events and performances. PG&E fire plan flawed, public advocate report says. Pfizer vaccine trial began at Stanford for 2 to 5-year-olds. 86-year-old bicyclist hit, killed by car in Lafayette doing what he loves. I'm pretty tough, Pelosi says she would have battled Capitol mob. Woman who coughed on San Francisco Uber driver in viral video pleads not guilty. Lawmakers unveil financial priorities to rebuild CA's post-pandemic economy. Sideshow enforcement returns, Oakland police prepare to tackle illegal activity. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Sometimes it'll reward you, White Sox is rotten and his tough baseball path to a no-hitter. U46 rolls out new summer school programs. It's like a godsend, suburban businesses get pandemic relief from the Barstool Fund. Constable, bridge not asking to be hit, but it could take precautions. Wheaton anticipates need for more parking downtown. More than 3 million now fully vaccinated in Illinois. COVID-19 end seasons for Lake Park, Jacobs. New report predicts 83% job growth in Illinois electric transportation sector. Elk Grove Mayor, concerts and fests will go on, with no masks required. Bills call for modernizing state's gun permit systems. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Washington's newest museum is dedicated to an unlikely sea creature, mermaids. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for tropical cyclones Yuragi 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Libya, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Bolivia, Brazil. Drought is ongoing in Mexico. Drought is ongoing in Mozambique. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in China, India, Nepal. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Congo, DRC. Drought is ongoing in Iraq, Jordan, Syria, Turkey. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, April 15th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. China's risky record on climate. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. U.S. expected to announce sanctions on Russia in response to massive hacking campaign. MIT scientists translated spider webs into music. It could help us talk to them. Another round of showers and storms Thursday. Texas highest criminal court tosses death sentence of Raymond Riles, state's longest-serving death row inmate. Man arrested, accused of shooting an Texas officer and later killing woman during carjacking. Harris County supports creation of new criminal district court to tackle case backlog. One of Deshaun Watson's accusers drops lawsuit due to privacy as women's identities revealed. Remembering the Notre Dame Cathedral fire, 2 years later. Houston woman nearly killed by stray bullet while sitting in her driveway, stop shooting your guns. Daunte Wright shooting, former officer Kim Potter to be charged with second-degree manslaughter. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Global stocks higher after Wall Street retreats from record. France's pandemic death toll set to pass 100,000 amid surge. Senior royals to skip uniforms at Prince Philip's funeral. The latest, Serbia to produce Russia's Sputnik V vaccine. AP sources, tool behind crackdown on opioids could expire. President Xi receives U.S. delegation, commits towards regional peace and stability. Greek FM travels to Turkey for talks on fraught ties. U.S. warns of punitive actions for Lebanese blocking reforms. Explainer, what are the Iran nuclear talks all about? The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Brooklyn will purge 90 convictions involving an indicted detective, with 100 more expected in Manhattan. Extra, ever try working out on weed? New Yorkers, closing time is now midnight. COVID hospitalizations cut in half among older New Yorkers thanks to vaccines. Do any of these mayoral endorsements matter? NYPD officers find dead body after observing men load large object into trunk of car. NYC parents sue mayor for a full reopening of schools. You just never know when a geyser of mystery gunk is going to blast out of your kitchen sink. Schumer says it's time to end federal cannabis prohibition. City Council candidates vie for voters' attention in districts pummeled by COVID-19. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Ecological cook stoves help preserve El Salvador's coastal mangroves. UN to launch funding appeal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines following volcano eruption. UN's most powerful political body remains paralyzed battling a new Cold War. UN experts urge US to align anti-terrorism program with international law. Prevention is only cure to end sexual violence in conflict, Security Council hears. Settler violence is rising in occupied Palestinian territory, warn experts. New global compact aims to drive down diabetes deaths, boost insulin access. Large, likely long-lasting crisis looms over Mozambique's Cabo Delgado, UNICEF warns. COVID-19 teaches us to better manage global systemic risks. Hundreds of millions of women living lives governed by others, UN report shows. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Harvard MIT researcher, COVID definitely could have leaked from a lab. Nancy Pelosi's husband buys Microsoft ahead of big government contract. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Former Minnesota cop charged in shooting of Daunte Wright. Months after hack, U.S. poised to announce sanctions on Russia. Is this photo of an automobile neck belt from the 1960s real? Are these rumors about Daunte Wright's criminal record true? Conservatives propose revised sex ed rules and LGBTQ pushback. Stinging report raises new questions about Capitol security. House panel poised to advance bill on slavery reparations. Does U.S. rank number 1 in incarceration, gas consumption, military spending? Did Texas students hold a mock slave auction on Snapchat? Are COVID-19 tests sterilized with a chemical linked to cancer? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Underselling the infrastructure in infrastructure plan. Posts falsely identify suspect in fatal shooting as George Floyd's brother. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Kate Winslet's Mayor of Easttown is the year's first great crime drama. The post-9/11 era is ending and the tech war with China is beginning. The Lucas brothers reveal the real hero of Judas and the Black Messiah. It's attack after attack, trans youth speak out on health and sports bills aimed at them. White supremacy has its coming out party, and Tucker Carlson is there. Billionaire couple pledges to give away 5% a year, and gets dumped on. How scandal plagued Matt Gaetz became excommunicado at Fox News. Elizabeth Warren literally LOLs at GOP's supposed breakup with corporate America. The fierce racism backlash to Tyra Banks, America's Next Top Model. Jimmy Tatro transforms from fratty to daddy on ABC's Home Economics. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Stan Van Gundy, extra training camp helped Tom Thibodeau, Knicks. Red Sox sweep Twins for 9th straight victory. Steve Nash, Nets may not get any games with our whole roster. Luka Doncic's three-pointer at buzzer leads Mavericks past Grizzlies. Buddy the Beefalo captured after 8 months on the lam. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Blue Origin successfully launches and lands another New Shepard rocket. There might be remnants of an ancient planet buried inside Earth. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Dr. Anthony Fauci on Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine pause. Brazil's COVID crisis intensifies as worrisome variant spreads. CDC panel needs more time to weigh risks of Johnson & Johnson's coronavirus vaccine. U.S. climate envoy John Kerry has talks in China. COVID-19 long haulers cope with lasting virus symptoms. Pause on Johnson & Johnson vaccine to continue as advisory panel delays vote. COVID-19 long haulers cope with lasting virus symptoms. Brazil grapples with surging COVID deaths and hospitalizations. CDC prepares to hold emergency meeting on Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin moves closer to passenger launches. The following headlines are from alienUFOsightings.com. Is that a UFO? Mystery as hundreds of sheep stand in circle in field. Social media users say it looks just like alien ship. Science explained, how can the diameter of the universe exceed its age? The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Canada lawmaker appears buck naked in House of Commons video session. Baylor refuses school-themed Jeep after dealer's insensitive comment. Another Falwell departs Liberty University. CIT, tiger sharks gnaw on whale carcasses. Beach closed in Hawaii. Words matter, numerous news outlets to use climate emergency instead of climate change. NY House stems to introduce bill that would add 4 Supreme Court seats. Love-seeking buffalo finally caught on Connecticut farm. Black buffalo cop who stopped white officer from choking handcuffed black cis pet gets pension back 13 years after being fired. Read how the Associated Press buried the lead when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Minnesota ex-cop Kim Potter, who fatally shot Daunte Wright, charged with manslaughter. The following headlines are from military.com. Drone targets U.S. troops near airport in northern Iraq, no casualties. Navy decommissions fire-damaged USS Bonhomme Richard. Jonathan Pentland, a Fort Jackson soldier, arrested and charged after confrontation with black man. Navy airman dies after rescue swimmer school accident at Pensacola. In first, male Marines graduate from historically all-female boot camp training battalion. Army investigates video allegedly showing a white NCO assaulting a black man. It's official, Biden vows to bring all troops home from Afghanistan by September 11th. National Guard therapy dog dies weeks after earning Alaska Commendation Medal. No charges for police shooting death of Air Force veteran Ashley Babbitt in Capitol riot. Biden's gamble, will pulling troops revive extremist threat? The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Parallel worlds emerge in the first year of legalization as blacks make up more than 3/4 of marijuana-related arrests while boutique dispensaries take off. Column, George Floyd and the double standard on who gets sympathy for an opioid addiction. Subsidizing 2 more Exelon nuclear plants key to meeting Pritzker's climate goals, audit finds. Video of fatal police shooting of 13-year-old Adam Toledo to be made public Thursday, officials say. What's going on with COVID-19 in Michigan? Here's what we know. Federal judge slaps BP for emitting too much lung-damaging soot from its Whiting refinery on Lake Michigan. Man whose body was found by fishermen in South Deering died of multiple gunshot wounds, officials said. Daunte Wright police shooting, former Minnesota cop Kim Potter charged with second-degree manslaughter in shooting of black motorist. Body found in trunk on northwest side identified as Portage Park neighborhood man, 1 person held in homicide investigation. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, more than 3 million residents now fully vaccinated, parents group accuses CTU of moving the goalposts on reopening, 3,536 new cases and 31 more deaths reported. The following headlines are from phys.org. Snake species from different terrains surrender surface secrets behind slithering success. UN warns that impact of Caribbean volcano could affect other islands. Tunisia sandy farms resist drought development. Lipid research may help solve COVID-19 vaccine challenges. 97% of Earth's land area may no longer be ecologically intact. Famous fast radio burst FRB 20,180,916b just barely lets itself be captured. Mock crew straps into space capsule, exits before liftoff. RNA holds the reins in bacteria, researchers observe RNA controlling protein synthesis. The American public is responsible for identifying over a quarter of new invasive species. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, April 15th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. How AI accidentally learned ecology by playing StarCraft. Pollinators are in trouble. Here's how transforming your lawn into a native wildflower habitat can help. Could carbon capture technology help the U.S. meet climate change commitments? In a world of endless choices, why is decision-making so tiring? Who are the fastest animals in the world, and why? The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. United Health ups forecast after strong start to year. Top associate of Navalny convicted of trespassing in Russia. Vinny's app team withdraws from Gyro after doping cases. EU top court backs block and ban on electric pulse fishing. Makeshift defense comes through for Madrid in decisive games. Distance makes sense, Simenia pins Olympic hopes on 5,000. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. Bridge, April 15, 2021. Horoscopes April 15, 2021, Emma Watson, turn your enthusiasm into something concrete. Word Game, April 15, 2021. Ask Amy, we don't want her on our Disney World trip but we cannot just say no. Harriet Cole, my grown son is hurt by the attention to this little kid. Miss Manners, I'm a small young woman, and I was scared by this angry man. Dear Abby, how can we protect this man from his abusive wife? Firefighters battle East Oakland liquor store fire. Almost perfect, Rodden settles for no-hitter after HBP in ninth. Sharks lament lack of compete, urgency as dismal homestand ends. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. U.S. Capitol Police watchdog to testify on January 6 failures. Capsized ship off Louisiana, 12 missing, 1 dead, 6 rescued. Experts cut outlook for German growth amid third pandemic wave. German High Court overturns Berlin rent price cap. LG to add shift with 334 more jobs at Tennessee factory. Kentucky high school band selected to play in Macy's parade. West Virginia to see slight increase in vaccine allocation. Rocket attack on base in northern Iraq kills Turkish soldier. The next headlines are from The Intercept. There shouldn't be vaccine patents in a health crisis. Most Americans agree, waive them. House and Senate Democrats plan bill to add 4 justices to Supreme Court. Indoor dust contains PFAS and other toxic chemicals. Nevada's new Democratic Party raises back funds shuttled by ex-staff. Rep. Eddie McCollum leads effort to block Israel from using USA to destroy Palestinian homes. Chantal Brown approved major contract, then contractor backed her campaign. The Border Patrol's application in the Sonoran Desert. It's consumed our lives, volunteers step in as Border Patrol drops migrants off in tiny Arizona towns. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, April 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Good dental health may help prevent heart infection from mouth bacteria. Later school start times let students get adequate sleep. Want to be robust at 40 plus? Meeting minimum exercise guidelines won't cut it. 2 distinct types of COVID-19 associated acute respiratory distress syndrome identified. Study strengthens links between red meat and heart disease. Pregnancy increases kidney stone risk, Mayo Clinic study finds. With the right carbon price path, there is no need for excessive CO2 removal. UZH researchers find new measure to predict stress resilience. Discovery of epigenetic factors predicting the severity of COVID-19. How can we conserve Seychelles giant trevallies? The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Person crashes into building in Bowmanville. Monday, impulsive couple needs to get a room, far away from here. Man charged with carjacking in South Shore, police. 6 shot, 2 fatally, Wednesday in Chicago. Woman and daughter carjacked in Wicker Park. 2 women struck by vehicle after argument in West Pullman. White Sox Jose Abreu preserved Carlos Rodon's no-hitter with hustling, risky play. Horoscope for Thursday, April 15, 2021. Rolling Meadows Sushi Station employee accused of putting camera in restroom. Bulls get desperate too late, falling in embarrassing fashion again. The feed from the Riverfront Times St. Louis has been removed for putting advertisements in its news RSS feed. St. Louis City Museum lands on multiple USA Today top 10 lists. The Riverfront Times is seeking summer interns. Steve's Hot Dogs and Lion's Choice made a hot dog baby together. Tommy Jim's, farewell to the weed man. College dabbers and dabblers. The next headlines are from Detroit Metro. Bruce Springsteen, Wayne Kramer among rock stars to honor Cream magazine's Dave Marsh with virtual 3-week tribute. Dearborn's Greenfield Village reopens with pandemic precautions. Red Bali Kratom, effects, dosage, and best source. Black man wrongfully arrested based on false facial recognition match sues Detroit police. Green mean to Kratom, effects, dosage, and best source. Michigan dispensary owners say many people are turning to cannabis for a good night's rest. Michigan-based cannabis brand Verdux wants to elevate your smoking experience to high fashion. Understanding the cannabis laws in Michigan. The Republican Party believes that too many of the wrong people are voting. Savage Love, my ex-boyfriend is dating a man now. Why does this bother me so much? You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, April 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. NFL odds, Deshaun Watson still a top-tier NFL MVP candidate in 2021. Upcoming Houston food events, suck down mud bugs and jam tool hive music. Best virtual bets, parallel play, specters of noon, and hope. The power of we, possessed by Paul James returns to Houston. Houston sports, Astros star players land on injured list. Wanted, a full-time food editor for the Houston Press. Busby to refile all 22 lawsuits against Watson with plaintiff names. A.J. Hinch deserved a hero's welcome at Minute Maid. Houston's largest mural brings attention to food insecurity. Houston Concert Watch 4/14, Beatle, Reed Southall Band and more. The next headlines are about world records making news. Overpriced, TM, debut season 1 hoodie sells for a world record $26,000 on Block Party Go, WFMZ Allentown. Kathleen Dawson sets European 100 at textile record of 58.24, Swimming World magazine. World's highest infinity pool is nearly 1,000 feet off the ground, UPI News. Michigan's Desiree Linden sets world record in 50-kilometer run by over 7 minutes, MLive.com. Ronnie I's world record, the Sporting Ferret UK, Sporting Ferret. 24-year-old koala, Midori, becomes the oldest in captivity ever, Guinness World Records. Robin Cancer Trust breaks world record for most self-checks, Gazette. Germany sees record vaccinations amid hospital warning, Fredericksburg.com. First transplant of lung tissue from living donors to a COVID-19 patient, Kyoto University Hospital sets World Record Academy. Soldier to set world record for walking 26 miles a day for 30 days, Grantham Journal. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Wall Street bets does not bow to crypto wave. What exactly is Paramount's plan for Showtime, anyway? This iOS game secretly turns into a gambling app. CIA, we cannot rule out the lab leak theory of COVID-19's origins. COVID-19 booster shots likely needed within a year, top Biden advisor says. Adblock is borking Google Docs. Massive rockfall along Britain's Jurassic coast could be a boon to fossil hunters. 2.5 billion T-Rex may have roamed Earth. You'll probably have to put your next PC build on hold as the chip shortage continues unabated. Most people don't lose weight long-term, study finds. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Chok in Myanmar at 112.1 degrees Fahrenheit or 44.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Concordia in Antarctica at minus 93.46 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 69.7 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. U.S. government strikes back at Kremlin for SolarWinds hack campaign. Striking charter workers build ice where profits are returned to users. Walmart invests in self-driving startup Cruise. Bezos says Amazon should do a better job for our employees after union vote. Google Earth is now a 3D time machine. Intel, Nvidia, TSMC execs agree, chip shortage could last into 2023. CDC expert panel punts on deciding fate of J&J COVID vaccine. The looming software kill switch lurking in aging PlayStation hardware. What to expect from Apple's spring-loaded event on April 20th. Comparing the actual US grid to the one predicted 15 years ago. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Nebraska Republican blasted for racist comments about Mongol lawmaker. Police chief says no apology is necessary to Black Army lieutenant who was pepper sprayed. Direct link from the Trump campaign to the Russians, and it may have been covered up, Mueller prosecutor. Conservative judges are manipulating the history of eugenics to uphold anti-abortion laws. National embarrassment: Jim Jordan faces brutal mockery after getting shut down by Fauci and Maxine Waters. Chicago mayor says video of Adam Toledo's fatal shooting by police incredibly difficult to watch. Shut your mouth, Jim Jordan shouted down after attacking Dr. Fauci. White supremacists come out of hiding as they're welcomed into the GOP and at Fox News, columnist. Trump praises far-right Wyoming Republican as his war against Liz Cheney escalates. Trump hit with $1 trillion lawsuit over massive COVID-19 death toll in America. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Chauvin's lawyer uses the everything but a knee defense. The first Chess Kid USA Girls and Women's Championship is 2 days away. No hoax, new report says Trump's 2016 campaign shared info with Russian intelligence. Jim Jordan started ranting about lost liberty in the pandemic. Dr. Fauci wasn't having it. Not even Ivanka can save the nearly half of Republicans refusing to get vaccinated. Indigenous and environmental groups warn Biden not to trust Bolsonaro. A very handy breakdown of the most common vaccine side effects by age. Far-right extremism has become one of the intelligence community's rising threats. How do you laugh with a saxophone? Look to Red Holloway. The cop who shot Dante Wright will be charged with manslaughter. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Measuring neutron star squeezability, UREC alert. Interspecifics awarded SETI XAI residency at SETI Institute and Ars Electronica Future Lab, UREC alert. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. NeuroPixels 2.0, a miniaturized high-density probe for stable, long-term brain recordings, Science magazine. FAU researchers receive grants to combat Alzheimer's disease, Florida Atlantic University. Study reveals how sleep boosts learning, International News Network. Researchers receive $2.7 million to study sex differences in social reward, Georgia State University News. Isolation alters visual areas of brain in social wasps, Cornell Chronicle. NervGen Pharma receives ethics approval to initiate phase 1 clinical trial for NVG 291, straightinsider.com. Rivka Gouch and a mystery to itself, What is a Brain? LRB April 22, 2021, London Review of Books. Why Israel is becoming a hub for Parkinson's research, The Jewish Voice. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, April 15, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Prince Philip's lifelong interest in UFOs or flying saucers. Did the Navy film triangular-shaped UFOs? That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, April 15, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved. Instagram,